I'm Vicki Marquez, a food lover, wellness expert, certified health coach, plant-based chef, and author. And I'm here to show you how to nourish your life from the inside out. With my veggie-licious recipes and healthy how-tos, I'll give you all the wellness tools and tips that you need to eat better, feel better, and live better.
Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski. Welcome to Nourished. Nourished is a program that features Vicki Marquez, who is alongside me today. Welcome, Vicki.
Thank you.
Last time we were with Vicki, we were cooking in her kitchen. We made some really great stuff. I hope you're enjoying making some of those things. They were delicious and not hard to make. But today, I want to first remark that Vicki is a certified holistic health coach. I think that's really important at any time, particularly this time of year when we're all so busy, and is a certified plant-based chef, which is what we have been working on, a lot of plant-based menus, and they have been absolutely terrific. But today we're going to talk about the holidays and particularly stress. And all the stress that you may or may not actually know you're under during this time, and actually other times during the year too. Right. Isn't that right? You know, it's not just the holidays, but it kind of comes to a head right now during this holiday period. And we kind of look back and think, how can I get through this? Vicki, do you find that people kind of reach out and wonder how to get through all of these stressful times with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think stress is, such a huge thing that so many of us are faced with today because there's, we're always going and doing and giving and trying to be everything. And, that puts a lot of pressure on us and it wears us out at times. And especially with the holidays, it's supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be the most stressful. And so I get a lot of questions now, always around the holidays, about how they can, how my clients can healthfully get through the holidays without getting too stressed out. So that's a huge topic.
It is, and I know you all think about it. I sure do. And really, in thinking about it, Vicki reached out to some of our viewers, and they reached to her, and they had some really interesting questions. In fact, as I read the questions, I thought these are questions that are so universal. Everybody feels this stuff. I didn't really put it down in words this way, but I think you're going to find these questions that you would like answers to, and our viewers were too. So we're going to get started right on these questions right now. This is really great. All right, question number one. During the holidays, I always end up getting sick. I've already been sick. It never fails. The stress of the season wears me out, and as soon as that tickle in my throat shows up, I know I'll be down and out for a good week or two, which only stresses us out even more. So any tips on how I can stay healthy during this busy time? And that comes to us from Jarlene Lawson, who wonders this, and I know you do too. Like I said, I've already been sick during this holiday period, and it was right at the beginning. What can we do?
Well, it's cold and flu season, so it's going around and, the running around that we're doing, and we're eating a lot of different foods, and we're maybe drinking a little bit too much, and we're wearing out our bodies. And so it's really common for us to get sick. And also in the spirit of always doing for others and running around and taking the kids to the holiday plays and, shopping and all of that, it's really about putting ourselves first. We forget to do that. Mm-hmm. And this kind of goes back to what we talked about in our first episode with making time for yourself. And that's really the key. So you have to start by making yourself a priority, because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're ill and you're down and out, you're not going to be able to do anything, especially during this fun and exciting time of year. So the first thing is to stick to your regular wellness routine. And if you don't have one, starting one. And that's really simple. That goes back to episode 1, where we talked about the 5 tips to eat better, feel better, live better. And that's really just eating nourishing, healthy foods, exercising, drinking plenty of water, getting lots of good sleep, and then making time for some relaxation and meditation so that you have a strong body and mind. And then once your mind and body is strong, the other piece of this is really focusing on your immune system, because that's key in keeping us healthy. So I have three supplements that I think are fabulous, that if you want to add them in, even if you're already eating a healthy, nourishing, your diet's healthy, you definitely want to add in some maybe extra insurance with supplements. And 3 of my favorites are, I'm going to give these to you and you're going to love them.
Right,
the first one is going to sound a little crazy.
Okay.
It's actually an old home remedy, and it's called fire cider. Have you heard of that? No, I swear by this stuff.
Fire
so
cider.
fire cider is a tangy apple cider vinegar, and it's got a mashup of oranges and lemons and horseradish and habanero pepper and ginger and garlic and turmeric and all of these really high, vitamin C ingredients. They're loaded with vitamin C. And vitamin C is the vitamin that is your immune booster and your inflammation fighter. So it's going to keep you healthy. So I recommend taking a tablespoon of that every day. And I do it all year long, but it keeps me healthy.
Well, okay, you just named a lot of spicy ingredients in there, and is it?
It is. It's going to warm you up.
It's called fire.
It is called fire cider for a reason. It's like I said, it's an old-fashioned tonic. My grandma used to make this. You can make it at home, or you can buy it firecider.com. Actually, they sell bottles of it, and if you don't have time to make your own concoction, you can order it online. You might even be able to get it on Amazon. But it is spicy going down, and it is. It's an acquired taste, it's not, but it's also a really cool thing that you can use to make salad dressings, and you can throw it in recipes so you can cook with it, but it's loaded with wonderful stuff that's going to help you stay healthy.
And it's only a tablespoon.
So and it's only a tablespoon. And you can start with a teaspoon, and just kind of add a little bit more, but it's really, really good for you.
So it's not like at your local health food store necessarily.
I haven't seen it anywhere local here, but that doesn't mean it's not out there somewhere. You just have to check the stores, but you can definitely get it online, or you can try to make a batch at home. You just have to let it sit.
Some of these old-time recipes are really great. I mean, they knew what they were doing.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah.
And it's, again, it's using food and herbs and as medicine, and really that's, kind of how things were traditionally done. So it'll keep you healthy.
Good. All right.
And it'll keep you warm too.
It sounds like
on a cold winter's night.
And you can make a salad dressing if you don't like it.
Exactly. Throw it in. Use it in place of your vinegar. So that's the first thing I would say you can add as a supplement. The second thing is a probiotic. Now, one of the biggest things that's trending right now in health, and rightfully so, is good gut health, because our GI tract constitutes 70% of our immune system. So if we're trying to stay healthy, it's really important that our immune system is healthy and strong. And a probiotic is the good bacteria that keeps your gut health healthy and digestion working, and that all plays into keeping you well and healthy as well.
Okay.
So a probiotic is a good one.
All right.
And then last but not least, because we are in the winter and our days are shorter and we're not outside as much, I recommend a vitamin D. And vitamin D is known as the sunshine vitamin, because that's the vitamin that our skin makes when it's exposed to sunlight. So I would say definitely add in a vitamin D, because that also helps boost your immunity. And it's also really great for your mood, because it helps absorb the minerals, especially magnesium, which is an anxiety-fighting mineral. And so that's going to help with the stress as well as keeping you healthy throughout the holiday season.
Well, those are easy and to do, and all good for you. And the fire cider, would we just kind of like Google fire cider and it'll tell you a recipe?
Yeah, well, you can absolutely Google that and look for a recipe for fire cider. And you can also, I believe if you go to firecider.com, that's the brand that I actually buy when I don't have time to make it. They have a great recipe. They have a blog with different ways that you can use fire cider and recipes and things like that. So if you do Google fire cider, it'll come up and you'll be able to get it there.
All right. Well, I love those. Those are easy. Okay, well, those will help our immune system and keep us healthy. And I know we've said take time for yourself, and that is really, really hard to do. I know I have a hard time doing that. So you just got to put yourself on the calendar and say, this is my time to go exercise, or like you said, sit and meditate, or whatever it takes to give yourself a priority, because you can't give anything if you're laying there.
You cannot. You can't. And you're going to miss out on all the fun.
You are.
So you want to keep yourself, feeling well and high energy so that you can make it through and enjoy all of the festivities.
Have the fun that you're planning for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, question 2. The thing that stresses me out most during the holiday season is squeezing in all the holiday parties, obligations, events, and get-togethers. How do I do it all frazzle-free and still have downtime for myself? That comes to us from Maria Mendoza, and that kind of piggybacks onto that first question. It is, how do we do that? How do we become frazzle-free?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's one that I struggle with myself, because there are so many things going on this time of year. And unfortunately, the truth is you cannot do it all. I mean, that's really the hard truth, is that you have to, prioritize, and something has to give. So one of the things that I suggest during the holiday seasons is it's a great time to set limits to free up your time. So for example, if you are going to your friend's ugly sweater party, you know, maybe plan in advance that you're only going to stay for an hour or two instead of staying the entire night. Or commit to only baking 1 batch of cookies instead of 3. Or if you're traveling to your parents, stay 2 nights instead of 4. Find little ways that you can cut down time on the things that you are going to do. And then the other thing that I suggest is really this is a great opportunity to practice, you know, declining invitations that you don't really want to go to. Because so many times we say yes to things that we really aren't interested in doing. We maybe don't feel like it, or it's not really our thing, but we say yes because we feel the obligation. So use the holidays as a time to practice politely saying no and declining invitations. And one great way to do that is something that I always recommend. You can do this right now. Pull out your schedule and schedule what I call a holiday couchcation. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It's a vacation with your couch. And put it on the calendar and, you know, pencil it in and pass on any invites that clash with your scheduled couchcation. And, you know, cozy up, grab a blanket, grab a warm cup of tea, a good book, and snuggle down and hunker down for a night or a weekend even. And don't take any invitations so that you're guaranteed to have that downtime so you can reboot, re-energize for your return trap back to the holiday hustle.
You know, that couchcation idea is great too, because some of those really nice moments come from the stillness and quietness, cuddly, cozy, you know, with your family members just at home and just being there, not being everywhere.
Exactly. You light some candles, you know, watch a holiday movie, you know, whatever it is that's going to relax you and help you unwind, but treat it like you're on vacation. Meaning if you were out of the country or out of town, you'd have to pass on invitations that came up and obligations that came through. So treat it with that same kind of importance and, you know, I'm sorry, I can't. I have plans that weekend. Even if it is just with your couch, nobody has to know.
I was just going to say that. You don't need to tell people what you're doing.
You don't have to tell
You don't want
people.
anybody to feel bad that you'd rather be on your couch than at their house. But that's a great idea. Yeah, I like that. All right.
So pencil it in.
We will pencil that in. Question 3. I'm always worried about gaining weight during the holidays. Do you have any tips how I can enjoy Christmas dinner even if I don't want to diet? That's from Olga Nowakowski, who is wondering about that.
That's a big one. This is a really big one, and yes, Olga, I do have some tips for you. Actually, I just did a blog on VickiMarquez.com for Thanksgiving about this very topic, and I gave my secret strategy that I use all holiday season to enjoy and not really worry about the weight gain. And that strategy that you can use is this. You ready for it?
I am.
It's to, at your holiday dinner, eat whatever you want, eat as much as you want, and do not allow yourself to feel guilty. Best health tip ever, right? Is it not the best health tip ever?
She said.
Anything you want. But here's the thing. This is the reason why. Because I'm somebody who practices a healthy lifestyle all year long. So the majority of my time, I'm eating well, I'm exercising, I'm taking care of myself, all of those things. So one meal is not going to make or break you. And if there's a meal to splurge on and enjoy, it's the holiday meal with your family, one that you really wait all year for. So to just let go of the pressure and worrying about weight and all of that stuff and just really enjoy the holiday and don't think twice about it. I do have a couple other tips though that you can use on the holiday that are going to help so that you can reduce calories and make sure that you're not overdoing it. And the first one is to start with breakfast and lunch. So many times I know my clients and friends that will hold off on breakfast and lunch. They're saving their calories, they're saving their appetite. They want to go ahead and just save it all for the big meal, but don't do that. Eat your breakfast, eat your lunch, have something nourishing and healthy, even if it's just a smoothie or a green juice, so that you're getting some good nutrients, and then you'll be far less likely to overdo it at the big meal, right? Another thing that you can do, and I love suggesting this one. Everyone's like, no duh, but I don't know if people say that anymore. But it's to not eat foods that you don't love, and that sounds really obvious. But so many times we eat things because it's tradition. I know I used to eat fruitcake, and I don't like fruitcake.
Right? It's like it's a holiday. I must eat this.
Right, and you don't have to. So load your plate up with the foods that you love and that make you swoon, and really enjoy that food and have as much of that stuff that you really love and look forward to. And then also cocktails, holiday cocktails usually come into play at the holiday time.
They do,
They
yes.
can contribute to the merriment of the season.
They do.
But they can
They're
also
fun.
contribute to the weight gain. So I always suggest, and I do this myself, is alternating every alcoholic beverage with a glass of water or a 0-calorie sparkling water so that you're staying hydrated, even if you're drinking soda, whatever, if your bubbly comes from a soda can or some kind of a cocktail, alternating with water will cut your liquid calories in half. So that's a great way to kind of reduce calories there. And then last but not least, I love to suggest going for an after dinner walk. And this, is a great way for you to round up the family, bundle up, grab the dog, reconnect, and start a new family tradition. But you're also burning some of those calories off and getting fresh air and feeling good and light. So it's a great way to end the evening on a nice and refreshing note.
It is. And Vicki, my family used to always go on the holiday walk after dinner, and my dad had walking sticks. We all had one.
That's
and then
awesome.
we'd end up with whose ever coat because you didn't bring the warm enough coat. So we kind of were ragtag out there in the neighborhood. But it was always so much fun. And actually, we haven't done it for a few years. So, and that is a really fun thing to do, even if it's really chilly outside.
Right.
It's very invigorating, makes you feel better than
Yeah.
just sitting there.
Right, even if
Yeah.
it's 10 or 15 minutes or around the block a couple times, just that fresh air when
Yeah.
it hits you, you automatically feel better.
You
and
do.
you are burning calories, so
You are.
it's a good, fun way to kind of end the holiday.
That is. But I do like your philosophy that, if you're watching your nutrition throughout the year, that one meal isn't going to be the thing. It's the whole season
Right.
you can't overindulge in.
Right.
But if that Christmas dinner or Christmas Eve dinner is the one you're really looking forward to, you should
Right.
enjoy it.
And even if it's a couple, if you have a holiday work party that you're looking forward to, or, a cookie exchange that your friend hosts every year that you just love the cookies, allow yourself those indulgences, because that's what life is about. Just making sure that, you are keeping up your healthy habits and taking care of yourself when you're not at the parties, and then making sure that you kind of do other things to, keep your body moving and keep those calories at bay so that you can enjoy and not worry about the weight gain.
Very good. Great.
And these are things that you can do not just at the holiday, but anytime. If it's February and you have Valentine's Day or a special birthday, apply those same principles.
Right.
Go for the walk, alternate with water.
Enjoy the meal, then
Enjoy
the next
it.
day you're not doing that kind of meal again.
Exactly. So you can apply these tips all year long.
Great. Question 4, the thought of Christmas shopping drives me crazy. We have a big family. We all exchange gifts, plus there are 17 kids we have to buy for. Oh my goodness. I never know what to get everyone, and I hate crowds at the mall. Just writing this gives me anxiety. Any suggestions? This comes from David Sutton. Wow, that is a lot of people.
17 is a lot of kids. Rootlets. Check out the Rootlets.
Boom, you're done.
No, but in all seriousness, that is a really great question, David, and I think we can all relate to that one. I know that running around store to store, trying to find the perfect gift, looking for parking spots, waiting in lines, it can be really nerve-wracking. So I totally feel you on this. And I think for this one, I have 4 great tips. And these are things that I do myself because I have struggled with gift giving and I love to give gifts, but this really simplifies the process. So the first one, so many people are doing it now, but it's shop online. By shopping online, you can price compare a bunch of different stores, and you can look at places that you might not even think of going to. You don't have to battle the crowds, you don't have the lines, things will just arrive at your front door. And with retailers like Amazon now and Overstock.com, you can get such great deals and very quickly delivered to your door. And most of them offer free shipping too. So online shopping is a really great way to kind of cut some of that craziness out. Another thing that I love to do is give gift cards. So I know a lot of people think that gift cards are really an impersonal gift and they don't like giving gift cards, but I really disagree with that. I feel like gift cards now can be so personal because you can get them literally for pretty much any place.
That's true.
So it'll show that you really know the person that you're giving the gift to. Maybe they like going to the spa, so you get them a manicure, or maybe their favorite restaurant, maybe they're a traveler, so you get them an airline gift card. It really just depends, but it's a great way to kind of get creative and think about what that person really enjoys doing and what they love, and then getting them a gift card to that kind of a place.
That's a great idea.
And you don't have to worry about what size or what color or
Yeah, they
any
get
of
to
that.
pick it themselves, even if it's to a store, they get to buy that sweater or scarf
Right.
or whatever.
Exactly, and I've never met anybody that didn't like getting a gift
No,
card.
that's true.
I know I love getting
Yeah,
gift cards.
definitely.
So that's one other tip. Another tip that I love to do is donate in the recipient's name. So it's a great way to spread kindness and bring some holiday joy to somebody who is less fortunate, or a charity that needs, giving is such a wonderful thing to do, and that is the spirit of the season. So you can make a donation in, the recipient's name, and you'll both feel warm and fuzzy knowing that you're doing something good for
That's a great idea.
someone else. And then last but not least, I would say that my final tip, and this is probably my favorite, and it's one that I'm doing a lot this year, is exchange experiences. And it's a fun way to kind of forego all of the stress of shopping and still spend really good quality time with the people that you love and that you care about. So maybe agree before or after the holidays to get together, or surprise them with a little coupon that says this is good for one dinner out, or maybe it is going to a movie or bowling or whatever kinds of activities that you like doing. David, 17 kids, round them up, take them to the zoo, go see zoo lights, treat them to a hot chocolate, and they're going to remember that.
They will.
So much more than any gift that you could possibly get them. So that would be my final tip for you, David.
Yeah, that is a great idea, especially with all those children who, I'm sure they're a variety of age, but there's a lot of variety of age things you can do, like take them all bowling or the zoo or one of those things, ice skating or something. That's a really great idea. And it is a nice thing to have the experience, because those are things that you go back to and think, wow, I did that with my uncle, or, my grandmother took me somewhere that I really enjoyed, and that was really special.
It's so true. I remember when I was little, my aunt and my grandma and my mom, we had this weekend for the holidays downtown, and it was like a big deal to go downtown Chicago, and we did a carriage ride, and we saw the tree, and went to the Walnut Room and the old Marshall Fields, and I will never forget that weekend. But if you ask me what they bought me any Christmas, I'm gonna be like, a doll. I don't know.
That is so true.
So it's like that is the thing that I cherish and I remember, and that's what life's about, right?
Yeah.
It's having good experiences.
Right,
so.
it is. And with that many gifts to buy, if you can kind of get them all together, that would be great.
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion.
I hope you have like a one present policy, David.
Yes, that is a lot of people. And our fifth and final question is, I host Christmas every year, and I always feel like I have to be Superwoman. Oh my gosh, we all feel that way, don't we? Cleaning, decorating, shopping, cooking, baking. It's a lot of extra responsibility, and while I love having everyone over to my house, I was wondering if you have any tips on how to simplify hosting so it's less stressful. Well, so many of us could have written that, really.
Right.
It's true, because you do want, when you're hosting a party for Christmas and Christmas Day, you want it to be really special for everyone, and you want them to have a great time and great food and a great experience, and you can make yourself it's kind of overwhelming for the hostess at times.
For sure. And I would say if you're offering to host, you're already a superwoman, just taking on that challenge. And with that, my tip for you would be to recruit some sidekicks, because even Santa has helpers and elves, right? We all need help, and teamwork makes the dream work in life and in business. And so what I would say is, really start by recruiting people that you have in your family. If it's the kids, get them involved with the decorating or wrapping presents. Ask your spouse if they'll run to the store for the groceries. Put your sister in charge of baking so that you can scratch that off your list. Or, make it a potluck and have everybody bring a dish so that you're not responsible for making the entire meal. Because we do want things to be really nice for everybody.
We do.
And when we take on too much, it's when a lot of that stress it kicks in. And I think a lot of it too comes from wanting it to be perfect.
It does.
So we have to also let go of the need for perfection and just be, okay with good enough, and realize that, nobody's going to care if, the frosting on the cake was perfect, or if your presents have beautiful gold bows like you see at the store, and just, kind of letting some of that go and just being okay with, this is good enough.
Yeah.
And I would say, in her question, she also said the magic word, and she might not have realized it, but she said, how do I simplify? And I think that's really the key for all of these questions, is finding ways to simplify the process, whether it's the menu or the decorations or the guest list or the calendar and the obligations or the expectation for perfection. Finding ways to kind of bring it down to a manageable level so you're not overdoing it, you're not overextending yourself. And so you can enjoy the season and healthfully handle all the holiday stress and not turn into a Grinch.
Yeah, or turn into like Jell-O at the end because
Right.
you've done so much that you can't, keep up with it.
Right.
I know I am very guilty of this, and in fact, my daughter said to me, I've made these really elaborate meals the last 2 or 3 Christmases, and she said, Mom, you are working so hard in the kitchen that you're not able to like enjoy the day. So this year, let's think of a really simple menu because it'll be more fun for you.
Good for us.
And I thought, oh, she is so right. I don't know what the menu is right now, but
Good advice.
But it really was good advice.
Yeah.
She was really thinking about that day and how we want it to be fun and special. And she said, Mom, it's fun and special because we're all together.
Right.
So, don't worry about the menu so
Right.
much.
Yeah, it's about quality, and really the reason for the season is to be with loved ones and to just share in the joy. So if you're overdoing it, now if you love putting on the big spread and if you love doing it and it fills you up with so much joy, do it. But if it is stressing you out or if it's taking you away from what's really important, then scale back just a little bit.
Yeah, well, if you're me, you're making all of the dishes like that are elaborate. Just do one. Just do one elaborate dish,
Yeah.
and the rest, don't have to be so much.
Right, then go watch another episode of Nourished and make some of the easy stuff.
Exactly. I'm not sure I said, but that was from Sarah Goodman. I'm not sure if I said her name. She brought that question to us. So, Sarah, good luck with that. And for all you super hosts and hostesses out there, scale it down.
Yeah.
Well, that's all of our questions, and those are wonderful pieces of advice, and
questions.
it's great for us to hear that and know that everybody else is feeling the same way. We're not alone, and there are solutions. We just have to grab the brass ring and do those solutions for ourselves.
Absolutely. And like I said, make time for yourself. That's the most important thing. Just even if it's 5 minutes in the morning, whatever it is, carve out some time where you can kind of just take deep breaths, focus on what's important, and just, let go of everything else so that you don't get too worked up.
Yep, that's good. Well, thank you, Vicki, for
Thank you.
sharing this great information about stress during the holidays. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, and I'm sure you will. And we've already got the snow to kind of give us that great holiday feel. You're probably decorating and shopping now, even.
Right.
So have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you,
Happy
Vicki,
holidays.
for being here with us today.
Thank you.
And we will see Vicki back in the new year again.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.